Faith is the foundation, how divine purpose transforms entrepreneurship. Welcome to a journey of transformation where faith meets ambition and purpose transcends profit. Today, I have the extraordinary privilege of sharing profound insights from my recent conversation with Qiana Coleman, a visionary entrepreneur whose story doesn't just inspire, it fundamentally rewrites the rules of success. Qiana isn't just a business leader, she's a spiritual lighthouse guiding entrepreneurs through the stormy waters of modern commerce. Her multi-million dollar business journey stands as testament to something our productivity obsessed as culture often dismisses, that the most sustainable foundation for lasting success isn't hustle, it's faith. God is real, Qiana declared with unwavering conviction. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have made it through any of the things I've spoken about to be here to even share my testimony. In that simple statement lies a revolutionary business philosophy that deserves our full attention. As Black women, many of us recognize the weight of the cape we've been handed, sometimes willingly, sometimes not. We've mastered the art of survival, perfected the performance of strength, excelled at carrying burdens that would crush others. We wear titles like strong Black woman as both badge and burden. But what if we've been measuring strength all wrong? This question sits at the heart of Chiana's extraordinary journey. When I asked her about the pivotal moments in building her multi-million dollar enterprise, her response wasn't what business schools typically teach. She didn't credit her strategic brilliance or market timing, though she possesses both in abundance. Instead, she spoke of divine intervention, of moments when everything logical said quit, but faith whispered, wait. There was a Tuesday morning, she shared, when I sat looking at my business accounts with exactly $47.32 left. Every rational voice, including my accountants, told me to close up shop. But in prayer that morning, I felt an inexplicable peace, a certainty that provision was coming. 3 days later, a client who had disappeared 6 months earlier returned with a contract worth $150,000. Coincidence, perhaps? But Chiana's business journey is filled with too many such coincidences to dismiss the pattern. What makes her story so compelling isn't just the dramatic turnarounds, but the practical, everyday faithfulness that created space for them. When market competition intensified and operational hurdles seemed insurmountable, Shiana developed a practice she calls prayerful strategy, combining spiritual discernment with business acumen. I never make major business decisions without taking them to prayer first, she explained, not as a religious ritual, but as a genuine consultation with divine wisdom. Sometimes the answer contradicts conventional business wisdom, like when I felt led to turn down a high paying client whose values didn't align with mine, despite desperately needing the revenue. That decision eventually opened doors to partnerships that were not only more profitable, but more purposeful. This integration of faith and strategy created a business foundation that could weather storms that toppled enterprises built solely on market trends or profit margins. When economic downturns came, as they inevitably do, Chiana's business bent but never broke. But Chiana's testimony offers more than personal resilience. Her founding of Oat Academy reveals how purpose driven entrepreneurship creates ripple effects far beyond the bottom line. Oat Academy wasn't conceived as merely a fashion business platform, though it excels as one. It emerged from Chiana's spiritual conviction that entrepreneurship could be a vehicle for divine purpose, particularly for women seeking economic independence and creative expression. Hote Academy was born in prayer, Qiana shared. I saw so many talented women with extraordinary creative gifts, but no business framework to monetize them. The vision wasn't just to teach business skills, but to create a space where people could discover their God given purpose through entrepreneurship. This alignment between professional ambition and spiritual calling created both meaning and sustainability. When rapid growth demanded more of her time and energy, Qiana regularly returned to her why, the divine purpose behind her work. This practice kept her focused when entrepreneurial pressures threatened to pull her off course. The results speak volumes. Hote Academy has empowered hundreds of fashion entrepreneurs, many of whom had been told their dreams were impractical or impossible. But beyond the business success stories are the personal transformations. Women who discovered not just financial independence, but purpose, confidence, and community. One participant, a single mother of three who had been told repeatedly that her design aspirations were unrealistic, launched a successful children's clothing line within 6 months of joining Hote Academy. What made the difference, she later shared, wasn't just the business training, but the spiritual foundation Qiana built into the program. The constant reminder that our creativity is a divine gift meant to be expressed in the world. This brings us to perhaps the most powerful dimension of Chiana's approach, how personal testimony becomes a tool for collective empowerment. With over 9 years of experience consulting businesses on marketing operations and scaling strategies, Qiana brings something unique to her client relationships, spiritual wisdom integrated with business expertise. She discovered that helping entrepreneurs overcome limiting mindsets often required more than technical fixes. It needed emotional and spiritual encouragement too. By sharing her own faith journey transparently, she created space for clients to examine how their beliefs might be affecting their business decisions. Business challenges are rarely just business challenges, Qiana noted. They're often spiritual and emotional challenges wearing business clothes. When we address the whole person, their fears, their faith, their purpose, that's when true transformation happens. One client came to Qiana after three failed business launches, convinced she simply lacked the entrepreneurial gene. Through their work together, she realized her repeated pattern of abandoning ventures just before breakthrough stemmed from childhood messages about knowing her place and not getting too big for her britches. By addressing these spiritual and emotional roots, the client not only launched a successful fourth business, but sustained and scaled it. By integrating principles like patience and perseverance alongside practical tactics, Qiana has helped numerous entrepreneurs streamline operations and scale sustainably while deepening their sense of purpose. Her clients don't just achieve better business outcomes, they experience personal renewal. This approach embodies what true transformation is about, not abandoning ambition, but grounding it in something deeper than external validation or financial metrics. It's about finding the sacred pause within the hustle, the divine guidance within the strategy. For those who have spent years in survival mode, leading teams, raising families, holding down households, carrying communities, Chiana's testimony offers a revolutionary invitation. What if success isn't about pushing harder, but surrendering more fully? What if the strongest business foundation isn't a perfect strategy, but an unshakable faith? Scripture tells us in Proverbs 16:3, commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. Qiana's journey embodies this truth. By committing her entrepreneurial path to divine guidance, she found not just business success, but profound purpose. The beauty of this approach is that it challenges the false dichotomy between spirituality and success. Too often, we're told that business requires cutthroat competition, that we must choose between profitability and purpose. Qiana's multi-million dollar business journey proves otherwise. Her testimony shows that faith and finance can dance together beautifully when we recognize that all our gifts, including business acumen, come from a divine source. For Black women especially, this message resonates deeply. We've often been told to compartmentalize, to leave our faith at the church door and our emotions outside the boardroom. Qiana's integrated approach offers liberation from these artificial divisions. She brings her whole self, spiritual, emotional, intellectual, to her business endeavors and invites her clients to do the same. So, where do we go from here? How do we apply these profound insights to our own journeys? I challenge you today. Identify one area where you feel stuck, whether in business or life, and intentionally invite divine wisdom into that space, not as a magic formula, but as a genuine partnership. For 1 week, begin each day with a moment of centered prayer or meditation focused on that challenge, asking not for a specific outcome, but for guidance and discernment. Then watch what happens, not just to your circumstances, but to you. Notice how your perspective shifts, how your decisions change, how your definition of success evolves. Because the most revolutionary aspect of Qiana's testimony isn't the multi-million dollar business success. Impressive as that is, it's the freedom she found to define success on her own terms, to build according to purpose rather than pressure, to find strength not in exhausting self reliance, but in divine partnership. This is the invitation before us all to release the cape of superhuman strength and embrace the crown of divine purpose. To recognize that true power isn't found in never falling, but in knowing who to call upon when we do, to build businesses, careers, and lives on the unshakable foundation of faith. The world doesn't need more entrepreneurs who sacrifice everything at the altar of success. It needs more like Qiana, visionaries who understand that the most innovative business strategy might just be surrender, that the most profitable investment might be prayer, and that the most sustainable foundation might be faith. The question isn't whether you'll succeed. The question is what your success will mean and who it will serve. Choose wisely, choose purposefully, choose faithfully. Thank you